Here. Oh my god, no. No, this is so stupid. Yes!
Team Fortress 2 in VR. Was it the update we were expecting? No, of course not. Was it a bad update to have? No, in fact, it's pretty interesting. Team Fortress 2 in VR has always been a dream to many, and while there was a way to play it in VR, it wasn't really virtual reality. There were some sneak peeks of actual TF2 in VR, but there was no real indication of Valve actually investing that much into the idea. And that still remains true. They've left almost all of the actual development to a third-party company called Rust, the creators of H3 VR and Meat Fortress. And I have to say, it was a great idea. H3 VR has already created an amazing foundation for the addition of Meat Fortress. From the physics to the detail of each and every gun, it outclasses almost every other VR shooter I've ever played.
Okay, let's just put it all into a small pot. Slowly. Slowly. Oh, there's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh my god, it works.
Valve is also very cautious when handing out their IP to other companies, so it's clear that they specifically chose Rust to carry on their vision, and with some great results. Let's start off with the guns. The guns.
Oh my god, Hamaji! LazyPurple said that already!
Each class has gotten their primary and default weapons lovingly brought into the game. Of course, this being the first patch, we'll still have a few missing weapons, but we still have a lot to play with. From the simple action of reloading to actually shooting at enemies, it stays true to the TF2 we all know and love while making it usable and extremely satisfying to use in VR.
Just get in the damn shotgun already. Okay, sprinkle that on, just a little bit more. Shit.
It was no easy task either. An interview with Addon, one of the developers of Meat Fortress, shows just how difficult it really was.
The one that was pure hell was the revolver. No single piece of the revolver lines up with any other piece in a way that makes any mechanical sense.
My experience with the guns have been great. It's maintained the satisfying sound design, impact, and aesthetics it had in the original game, and it's actually kind of surreal using it in VR.
Okay, help me, I'm reloading.
My personal favorite is the butterfly knife. There's just something so cool about actually opening it yourself and completely fucking up when you're panicking.
Oh god, wait. Oh shit!
My only issue is that sometimes when it comes to items like the rocket launcher, I can't save them like I do with other weapons. So if I don't put them on my shoulder holster properly, they'll just drop. You can also mix up your weapons now. Instead of being confined to one class, you can have multiple class weapons and use whatever the hell you want. You can even bring in real life weapons if you really wanted to. Oh my god.
Shuriken no Jutsu!
Rocket and sticky jumping is also in the game, and I've gotta say, it's a lot of fun. This is fine. Personally, I'm perfectly fine with movement in VR games, so I don't often get motion sickness, so this is fine to me. But I know a lot of people would freak out just thinking about this. And yes, before you ask, market gardening is kind of possible.
Oh, Soundsmith Daddy, I hope I make you proud. Oh my god. Oh my god! Holy crap! It works! It works! Holy shit!
Meat Fortress handles really well. Thanks to HD VR's development over the past few years, the gameplay is smooth and I've yet to experience any game-breaking issues. The bots are also really responsive and have great attention to detail. For example, Engineer's helmet being bulletproof and Pyro being mostly flame retardant. I think it's pretty cool. I just wish they could have brought the actual character models into the game. It would have made the experience far more immersive in my opinion. I'm sure there were concerns of how the model will react when being grabbed or knocked out, so I can understand. Apparently more work will also be done in the future to ensure bots work together more and make it feel more TF2-esque when playing with them. The team deathmatch mode is also a great game mode to start off with and is a ton of fun. Apparently more will be added soon, so I cannot wait for payload, capture points, or even capture the flag. I do hope that at one point we could have actual TF2 maps so that we'd be able to play actual matches of TF2 in VR.
One thing I've realized after playing for quite a while, and even though there are bots, you begin to feel a little lonely.
So basically like you.
Oh, wait, what are you doing? No, it's okay, it's just a joke, bro, it's just a joke. Yo! That's mainly because as a person who's come from the original game, it doesn't capture the same enjoyment you get from playing online with other people.
You think you're so cool, huh? Medic.
And I don't think we're ever going to see multiplayer. H3 VR at its core is a game heavily designed at being a single player game. Addon himself even replied to a Reddit post stating there will not be networked multiplayer of any kind. PvP versus co-op is not the issue, it is networking the game. Contrast this with Pavlov, another VR first-person shooter with a far better multiplayer scene than H3 VR. Because it actually exists in the first place. The community within Pavlov is growing and even has custom game modes which allow them to play Trouble in Terrorist Town, Deathmatch, and even Gun Game. Of course, this all comes at the cost of weapon detail, fidelity, and overall ability to include more weapons. Now, I'm not asking Rust to make a fully fleshed multiplayer version of VR TF2 with hats, unusuals, and taunts. Well, actually, you can probably do that one yourself. But Pavlov as a game is growing so much because just like TF2 or any other massively multiplayer video game, there's a thriving multiplayer scene with workshop items and even their own custom game modes. It just feels like there's so much potential that H3 VR has but just can't reach because of that lack of multiplayer. Lastly, one of the main issues I've found with this game when compared to TF2 is movement. When you play TF2, one of the core aspects of the game is its amazing use of movement. When you translate that into VR, you can't have that same field of movement as you would in its original version. This works for games like CS:GO because it's a realistic representation of how people move. But TF2 is exaggerated, and unless you can double jump in real life, you're just not gonna have that same faithful experience as you would in regular TF2. And yeah, I get it, this isn't meant to be Team Fortress 3, but I still believe it's something really worth mentioning. So, as fun as the game is to play by yourself, I can't really see anything bringing me back into the game on a regular basis. Once again, Meat Fortress is a great add-on and is extremely well executed. They spent roughly a year and a half on this and it really shows. It really does bum me out that multiplayer is not going to be added, as I was really excited for that and I would have totally played it way more often if that was a feature. But I'm still really excited for what's coming next and I cannot wait for more updates. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. This is a very new type of video for me to make and I'm extremely happy I've tried to branch out a little more. It's been a really fun video to make and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'm sure all of you know by now that I'm extremely shy when it comes to revealing my face or my identity in general, but I'd like to become more of me. And I hope all of you can accept me as well as a content creator. And also, this Hamaji jacket is on sale on Teespring, along with some other cool items like posters, t-shirts, and other stuff. Once again, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.